Oh, shoot. Wayne stopped in. So no one could hear anything that I said, Chris. So,
oh, that sucks.
Well,
I was just talking to myself, and that's weird.
So, Chris, I'm going to say a few things. So, we all heard what Chris is drinking. I'm drinking a Stone 26th Anniversary Imperial IPA, a dry hopped Imperial IPA. It's 26 years in the making. It's 9.7% alcohol by volume. I got to do all the stuff we said at the beginning. Hello and welcome to episode 142 of the Game Brew Podcast. It's a bi-weekly video game podcast. We discuss video games, and we just won the award for most unorganized, but still listenable podcast, Proof of Concept. On this episode of the podcast, we asked the question, what happened at the Game Awards? But first, it's time for a bev. Chris told us what he's drinking.
Yes. I'm drinking a Warsteiner Oktoberfest that I found at a liquor store. Apparently, it's still a Oktoberfest. Not like a Munich Oktoberfest, but a German Oktoberfest. It's pretty good. It's Oktoberfest for sure. Yeah, so it's kind of got like some of that, like it's a little more grassy, I think, if that makes sense, or like weedy. Like, you know how sometimes beer tastes like hay? It's got some of that, which some people might not be into, which is fine. I don't like it all the time, but I like it. You know, I'm liking it right now. It's pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm basically just doing it because it was available and I was surprised. Yes, I mean it's it's extreme chuggability. It's what it's for. It should have a warning on it, honestly.
I'm drinking this. Wayne says Chris staring at the ceiling and talking to himself was hilarious.
I mean, that's really what this is all about.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You don't exist, and I'm just like
I'm a figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
It's like Garfield minus Garfield, which is makes Garfield immeasurably more readable. I don't know what I'm gonna do whenever I have to. I might actually have to do some editing on the podcast this time. Damn it!
I'm sorry, buddy.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, thank you for putting up with the technical difficulties because I had not unclicked the mute button. Otherwise, you would have heard our before conversations. So that's what we're drinking. But this is a video game and beer podcast, or Bev's podcast. Chris, what are you playing, bud?
So I've been playing Victoria 3. Have I talked about? I think I talked a little bit about
on the Game View podcast.
Okay. So Victoria 3 is another Paradox game like Hearts of Iron or Stellaris or Europa Universalis or Crusader Kings.
And there's only two places to park your boat. There's a Paradox.
What? Yes, of course. That's a good Jungle Cruise joke right there.
If you can't see that, I'm giving a big thumbs up, and I have a shit-eating getaway.
But yeah, so Paradox games, they're really deep 4X style games, usually focusing on one certain aspect of things. So Crusader Kings is like lineages and like royal lines and stuff. Hearts of Iron is like World War II warfare and also making sure that you produce enough guns and stuff like that. And this one is more about just controlling markets, and it's kind of set between like the 1830s to 1930s.
Okay. Okay.
And it was cool, but I was playing it with Tyler, and I was having some issues. We were having like desync issues all the time. Multiplayer just straight up was not working. Extremely one of the most frustrating multiplayer experiences I've had.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And then yesterday or the day before, I found on Reddit someone that was like, "Hey, just turn off your IPv6 on your internet for your computer," and that kind of solved everything. So we've done that, and it's been perfect ever since. So.
Yeah, it's funny how often IPv6 just doesn't really do anything. It just makes things worse. It's too many.
Yep.
I guess there's too many safeguards for online gaming on those. But fun still. You enjoy the game?
Yeah. Yep. So I'm playing as Brazil. Tyler's playing as the U.S. Since I hadn't played this one before, I kind of did an easier country, or what I thought was easier, I guess.
This just in: Brazil is easy. You heard that here first, folks. Hashtag.
Yep.
Facts. Game Brew Facts.
So So basically, I've been slowly taking over South America and
Nice.
made my way up to Mexico and have taken a bunch of their stuff. And now I'm just kind of chilling so I don't get killed by a larger country. But it's been cool. It's been fun.
Nice.
I'm the number one exporter of hardwood.
Me too, Chris. Me too. But that being said,
what have you been playing?
if you're in the Game Brew Discord, you could see I posted in our general chat a picture of it. I just platinumed God of War Ragnarok.
Very cool.
So I did all the things that I could possibly do. The only thing I could do is like go back and play it on the hardest difficulty, which I'm not going to do because I enjoy not throwing my controller around. It was already really difficult on the standard edition. There were 2 really big boss battles, kind of like the Valkyries in the last one, where there's like 2 really big optional boss fights that were very frustrating to do, but I did them and I did all the Muspelheim trials and found all the collectibles, and I did it all, Chris. I did it all. I don't know how long because it doesn't let me track to see how long I played it for, but it was a long...
Really?
It was a long-ass time. Yeah, I mean, I think I could go... No, because on the saves, it only tells you when you saved, like what time of day. It doesn't tell you for how long you've been playing. So...
You might be able to go, like, from, like, the PlayStation, like...
They don't really have a thing.
They might have, like, a...
They don't
really?
have a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have a thing to do that. I've tried on multiple occasions to look at it, but if they do, let me know how to access it, people. Please, in the chat, just tell me, and I'll do it eventually. I've also been playing.
well, before you move on,
sorry.
What do you think of it compared to the first?
Great, fantastic.
Do you think it's better than the first one?
I don't know. I know. No, it's not better or worse. It's the same. It's like they really just said, okay, here's God of War, and then we're going to make a sequel. So it's going to be slightly better graphics, add some new stuff, make it just as good. And that's really it. It's like, it's this continuation of story. I think there's an addition of a 3rd weapon type, which was a pretty good addition, as well as you get to kind of switch your companions around. And like and your companions have like special abilities. I think that's probably my favorite feature is the addition of like more things for your companions and also skill trees for your companions to upgrade to.
Oh, that's nice.
So, very cool.
Is this the conclusion of the the Norse stuff?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I don't want to spoilers you or anybody else. But it does play very much into, and I've said this before, it's really about like found family and like chosen family and responsibility and fate. But it really is couched in Ragnarok. Like, it's Ragnarok. So if you know like the Norse, like the things,
it's the end times.
It's like it's what's supposed to happen. So you'll see a lot of that stuff. It's very much in there, and then it opens up at the end to kind of, there could be like more Kratos stuff. There could be more Atreus stuff. It's interesting. So there's a lot going on where they could go in the future. So I'm excited to, maybe there'll be a God of War, because I read a thing that before they did the Norse mythology, they were going to do Egypt. Like they were going to do Egyptian, the Egyptian pantheon of gods.
That'd be cool, but I think I prefer them doing the Norse stuff first, at least.
Well, but I mean, if they keep with it, he's got to go to a different. It's either like that, or he could go to like China, or like a lot of like, or go to Hindu gods, or just maybe maybe Kratos and Jesus have a fist fight to the death. See who wins. That could be an option.
Yeah.
But it's really good. I highly recommend it. I 100%. I just couldn't stop playing it. Like, it was just fun. So
yeah, I need to get into it.
That was the same. I was the same way with with God of War 2018. I just couldn't not like do everything because I just wanted to do everything.
Nice.
I also picked up High on Life. Is on Game Pass.
I was gonna ask about that.
It's funny as hell
because it looked kind of like in your in the wheelhouse.
It's funny. It's funny, and it's a pretty decent shooter too. I was worried it was going to be like not good, like it was going to be like funny but a terrible game. But it's pretty. It stands up as a pretty good shooter, you know. So you know, movement's kind of good. The dialogue is funny, and there's so much of it. Like they had to spend so long in the recording studio for this game. Because there's just, even whenever you're not paying attention to dialogue, there's dialogue. And whenever there's like little random NPCs there that have dialogue and you can like kill people and they give you more dialogue, and there's so many famous people in it. Like if you look it up on IMDb, there's a lot of people who are doing a lot of cool stuff there.
That's awesome. It looks super weird.
It is weird. It's weird and like gross and uncomfortable. But that's like kind of what we've come to expect from the Squanch games, where like Trover Saves the Universe and the Rick and Morty games that are in VR, and just the Rick and Morty show. It's basically like if you enjoy that type of humor, that's equal parts bathroom like potty humor, equal and like political satire. You know,
right?
It's
I just saw. I'm watching the trailer right now, and I just saw the this one enemy, I guess, get stabbed, and it's like giant eye, with a knife, and then they pull the knife out.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
It's a lot,
but that's one of the kind of standard enemies, so that happens a lot too. There's a lot of like bursting and pulling of things, and talking about severing arteries and pulling out innards. It's great. It's really good. It's fun.
It kind of has the same vibe for me as like Oddworld and like Earthworm Jim kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's really it's not, the humor isn't tongue in cheek at all. It is like they tell you the jokes are there. And also my favorite part is you can watch the entirety of Tammy and the T-Rex in this game.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, there's a terrible movie called Tammy and the T-Rex. You can, there's like a TV in your house that you can go and sit in front of, and literally the entire movie will play if you sit there and watch it.
Oh, and the Tammy of Tammy and the T-Rex is Denise Richards.
It is. Paul Walker is in that movie too. It's a I say this with the utmost respect for terrible movies. This movie is so good because it is the worst.
It looks pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. They wrote the script in 2 weeks. They shot it in like 2.5 months because that's how long they had the animatronic dinosaur for, and that's the only reason they wrote the movie, was because the director had access to.
We got this dinosaur.
Yeah,
what do you want to do with it?
That's exactly what happened. They were like, "Hey, I've got this dinosaur. Do you want to use it for a movie or something?" And he did. He wrote a movie so we could use that dinosaur.
That's awesome.
So
the plot in Wikipedia is very short
because there's not much to it.
That's awesome.
It also has 2 different versions. There's Tammy and the T-Rex, and also Tanny and the Teenage T-Rex. So yeah, either one of those. I think the one Tanny and the Teenage T-Rex is more gory if you watch that one. There's like 6 extra minutes of gore. But anyway, I digress. So High on Life, still playing it. It's it takes you a while because I kind of want to see all the funny goofs. So I'm I'm not going fast through things.
You're just kind of chilling through it.
Yep, I'm just kind of like taking my time.
Very cool.
Because other than that, it is the holiday season. The holiday season.
Whoop-de-doo.
And Dickory Dock, won't you come in?
I hate that song.
Yes, me too. But yeah, and then what else? Am I doing anything else? I don't think so. The raid came out. There's a raid in Modern Warfare 2 that you can do with 3 friends. Me and Brad and Uzman did that a little bit yesterday. We got almost to the end, but then we ran out of time because we didn't understand how long it was going to be. It was like a good hour and a half that we were trying to do this because we had to restart a couple sections. but it's done pretty well. Like it's like there's puzzles, there's like things you have to figure out on your way through. There's like one underwater section where you only have one air canister, so you kind of have to like switch back and forth, like who has it at any point, and then you like each refill with air, and then you keep swimming. It was a lot of okay, now me, okay, puff puff pass, okay, hit it, let me hit that, okay, but it's like an air canister, so
Nice.
but it's pretty well done. It's just long, so
Very
it takes a
cool.
while. But if you're gonna do it, just be prepared for it to take a while to do that. Anything else,
Gotcha.
Chris? Any other games? Any other fun things you want?
Not at the moment. Still been playing a little bit of War Tales, and that's about it.
War Tales. War Tales. Ooh.
Yes,
That, yeah, okay, cool.
it's the same theme song as DuckTales.
Nice. But so let's get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast.
I love meat and potatoes.
Me too. Tonight we had chicken wraps and ballin' ass freaking
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. There we go. Boy, my brain is broken today. I don't know what's going on, man. But you know what's not broken? The Video Game Awards. Why is it not broken?
Yep.
It had more views than the Oscars, is what Chris told me before we started recording. Right?
Yep. Pretty crazy.
How did you say it had like what? How many viewers? Like 108
It was-
million or something?
Yeah, it was over 100 million.
Wow.
That's
Very
pretty good.
cool.
It's apparently like just been like it had a big jump like in 2020, I think,
Mhm.
which makes sense.
I think now that it's streaming on like everything, like all over the
Yeah.
place, that kind of helps. But we're just going to go through some of the big releases, and then we're going to go through and just kind of chat about those, gauge our feelings. If you have feelings about things in the chat, please just
Share your feelings.
tell us your feelings, tell us your hopes, your dreams.
Can I borrow a feeling?
It's more than a feeling, Chris. More than a feeling.
It's the song that Millhouse's dad tries to sing to get his wife back.
Oh no, I don't watch.
Can I borrow a feeling? Yeah.
I don't know. I have not. I have never watched any Simpsons stuff ever. So
Ever?
really, never. No, I think I've seen like a couple
How?
episodes. I don't know. I just never was allowed to watch it when I was a kid, and then
Huh.
that translated into me never ever watching it ever. So.
right, then.
But you know what? I am watching all of these new trailers that came out for stuff. So let's
Oh,
talk
tell me about them.
Let's just
Sorry.
keep talking about some. So the first one we're going to talk about is Square Enix revealed that Final Fantasy 16 is going to be released in June of 2023, which is
Pretty
like
soon.
I was like, what? You were working on Final Fantasy 16, and I didn't like. I didn't
And
really.
no one knew.
I hadn't even been thinking about it. But yeah, just it has like a summon battle system. It showed us that we got to see Ifrit on there. So
It looks more less modern and more medieval.
it does look a little bit more medieval. I think they're kind of stepping back into the fantasy-esque sort of area.
Yeah.
Because
I appreciate that they jump around with that. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
yeah, 15 was good. It was very modern, so it was like whenever you have like
Yeah.
guns and cars and stuff, it's like, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Airspits.
I still haven't played that one.
15.
Yeah.
I haven't played it all the way. I think I've started it like 4 times. The most recent time I've started it, they put a bunch of updates in, so there's like all these things that are happening where I'm like, I don't know any of this crap. But I'm gonna keep playing through, see what I can find out. It's on my list of like really long games to keep playing: Final Fantasy 15, Persona 5, and Kingdom Hearts 3. I still haven't finished because they're just so goddamn long. I can't keep attention long enough to keep playing them. Great. So yeah, more Final Fantasy. That comes out in June.
We knew it was going to come out eventually, I guess.
Yeah. As long as there are numbers and the name Final Fantasy, there will be Final Fantasy games. We also got From Software revealing Armored Core 6, Fires of
Hell yeah.
Rubicon.
Pretty pumped for that.
We still don't know. Basically, the trailer just showed giant robots fighting each other.
Great.
We don't really know a whole lot about it yet, so we don't know if it's going to be like the other Armored Core games or if it's going to be a little bit more like Dark Soulsy. I don't know. I don't know if it would.
So they asked him. They asked one of the guys at From Software, and he said that it's going to be Armored Core. It's not
Just
gonna
Armored Core.
be Souls-like,
I like that.
which is great.
Yeah. But that is coming at some point in 2023, which is great.
I will play that.
I will play it too. We'll see.
I like robots that blow up other robots.
We also got surprise reveal. We got a Hades 2 announcement trailer because Hades exploded 2 years ago. 2020, it was the game of the year. Or it wasn't. No, I don't think it was game of the year, but it was.
It was.
It was? Okay.
It was IGN's game of the year.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I still need to. The problem with those types of games is, especially with those games, if you stop playing them for a while, you have to basically just restart from the beginning.
You have to relearn how to do all the
relearn how to play it
because it's kind of like it's like those weird like fast twitch muscles you have to get into like playing
like the zone.
Yeah, because I think that's kind of why I played God of War. Like I had to do everything all at once because I knew if I stopped playing it and played something else, I would lose all of the automatic muscle memory I have of like dodge, counter, attack. Like it's the same thing with these roguelikes where it's like, okay, I got to get this. I got to do this. I got to slice this guy with this sword. Yeah. So it's coming out early access in 2023.
Very cool.
So we're going to see what we see from that. But I'm excited to have another Hades. I liked Hades. Maybe I'll pick up Hades again. Maybe I'll I'll make Hannah play Hades and see what's going on. But it looks like I think it's a female protagonist this time.
Interesting.
I don't remember if it's if they named her or not. I'm like scrolling through the trailer right now to see if I can.
Yeah. Man, the art looks cool.
Oh, but it looks as though at the end you can kind of see there's like a gray withered figure that has like the little leaves on his head that the protagonist from the first Hades game had. So maybe it's like maybe it's like your kid or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows? But here, let's go through on a scale of how excited are you for this? So Final Fantasy 16, how excited are you, Chris? You don't have to use a number. You could just be like, how excited are you?
I mean, I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm not like a huge Final Fantasy person, but like I really enjoyed 7 Remake.
Okay. Great.
So I mean, I'd be down to play more.
I am ambivalent towards it. I could take it or leave it. Armored Core 6.
Pretty excited.
Me too.
It's been a long time since they released Armored Core, and yeah, I'd like to blow up some more robots.
Got it. Cool. I'm slightly more than ambivalent about it. So I'm a little more excited about it, but not super excited. I'm pretty excited.
Okay.
Hades 2.
I'm more excited for Armored Core, I think, than Hades 2.
Yeah. I would put them at about the same level. I'm like, I can play both of these. Let's talk about the next one. Judas, we got a reveal trailer for. This is the next game by Ken Levine, who created BioShock. And this is his next project. It's again a narrative-driven single-player game. It really looks like it looks like BioShock. It looks like you're in a sort of a dystopian world. It looks like you're on a space station of some kind. And it's like falling apart and you're trying to get off. and you have to like make alliances or something like that. I don't know. You have to like make friends or do things with it, but it does look.
I'm reading here that it does take inspiration from the Shadow of Mordor Nemesis system.
Oh, interesting.
So that's
you'll
cool.
make friends
I mean, that's a
as.
really cool. Yeah, a really cool thing. I mean, that was the cool thing about Shadow of Mordor, for sure.
Yeah. And I think
it would be nice if other place companies did something similar. Obviously, they can't use exactly the same.
right.
But yeah.
I do like Ken Levine's games. I do like the BioShock games.
Yep.
So this will probably have some social commentary in it as well, you know, and the dystopian sort of future kind of stuff.
The Would You Kindly stuff is.
I mean, that
was one of the coolest things.
That's like one of the classic video game things. Like now it's like it's a trope, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. It looks like you still have like you're gonna have the similar like powers again, where you can kind of do like elemental things, and there's also be shooty stuff and weird people. Maybe not as much Ayn Rand, says Syzygy Apogee. I mean, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. You know, I think they closed off like the whole, like in in BioShock Infinite, they were like, there, you know, there's always a man, there's always a lighthouse, there's always a girl. Still really good either way. Can't complain how he tells the story. Yes, I agree. So I think he kind of closed out that section of it. I don't think we'll get, you know, kind of that.
I thought I heard there was going to be another BioShock though.
I don't know.
Or maybe that's this.
This might be this. I know this is the next thing he was doing. So maybe it's like, this might be, I don't know. Maybe it's related to him. Who knows? Maybe he'll throw us a curveball and be like, yeah, guess what? Also BioShock, but just different. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see what this game is about and to play this, because I always enjoyed the BioShock games. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it more, it does seem really cool. And I mean, so far from what we've seen, and yeah, I've always liked the BioShock games, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's really good.
Nice. Okay. Next we've got Death Stranding 2 announced. Still haven't finished Death Stranding, the first one. So
yeah, I haven't either. I started it and like I went to pick it up again, and I was like, like it had some cool thoughts to it. It had some really like immersive stuff and like some really cool thoughts, but it's also like,
it kind of unlocks the same part of my brain that I'm like, I like have the incessant need to complete everything. So like more deliveries come up, I have this incessant need to like do the deliveries and not move on in the story, because I'd keep doing deliveries to try and do things. I think the last time I played, I was obsessed with trying to finish this road building in one like region, and I like kept getting distracted from doing the actual plot of the game, because I was like, I need to do all of the things. So in the trailer, we get to see Fragile. We get to see an older Sam Bridges. And there's like a bunch of like, there's like a big robot thing, which, you know, classic Hideo Kojima.
Yep, he loves his big robots.
Gotta get some yeah. And so we'll see. It'll be more looks like it's gonna be more Death Stranding. And we'll see that there's some really creepy rock and roll guy at the end. That was very freaky. But yeah, and then at the end it says, should we have connected? So it takes place after you've connected all of the cities, you know? So
I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I gotta finish Death Stranding before I can get excited about this one, you know?
Sure.
We got some Cyberpunk 2077 news. How Idris Elba is going to be joining Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty.
That's cool.
So that's fun. That's an interesting fact, more than a thing to be excited about. The Star Wars Jedi Survivor trailer confirms it's coming out in March of this year, or next year, excuse me. So this is the sequel to Jedi
The first. Yeah.
Fallen Order. No. Yes.
Yes, Fallen Order.
So we get to see a much older Cal Kestis in this one. He's got some scruff on him.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a child anymore.
He doesn't look like a child, but he still has BB-8 with him.
Not BB-8.
No,
it's not BB-8.
BD-1.
BD-1.
BD-1, who is adorable, by the way. There's a Lego BD-1 that I walk past in Target all the time, and I'm always like, I want to buy that little cute guy.
The little cutie.
Yeah, he's so cute. But it's 5 years after the original. And, I mean, obviously the Empire is stronger. We know that because it's Star Wars. It's not like...
Because this is how Star Wars works. And...
Yeah, it's like they're doing things in the behind the scenes, and then the Empire is just getting stronger. So I'm extremely excited about this. I loved Fallen Order. I thought that game was so fun. I love Star Wars.
I thought it was really good, but also, like... It was really good. For me, it wasn't great. Like... I finished it, and I was like, okay, I don't have to play this ever again.
I just love Star Wars.
I'm good. I love Star Wars too.
So much. No, Chris, I don't think you understand. I'm gonna get closer
love.
to that. I love Star Wars.
So you like Star Wars?
I love it. I'm that guy who just who even whenever the movies came out and arguably the newer ones, people were not happy about it. I was still I don't care. It's Star Wars.
Right? Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, yeah, it's more Star Wars. Awesome.
Give me lightsabers. Give me laser blasters. Give me spaceships. Give me it. Give me it. I want it. Give me it. And if it's a Lego version, also give me it, and then I'll build it.
Give me it.
Put it on my shelf. So extremely excited. That's me. I'm extremely excited.
Is that the thing you're most excited for out of everything we've talked about so far?
Yes, I think so.
All right.
We've talked so far. Okay. And then we're going to keep going a little fast. We're going to go a little faster because we're going to go through things. So, Diablo 4 coming in June 2023. Are we still excited about Diablo 4? I'm kind of not. I'm kind of over
My
it.
mind says no, but my heart says yes just because it's Diablo. I love Diablo.
They did show a bunch of it's going to be very buy stuff heavy. Microtransaction-y. There was a lot
of
that.
Which I hate.
Yeah.
That sucks. That super sucks.
So my mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me
also no.
Also no. Street Fighter 6, it's going to be here in June. If you're in the fighting game space. So there's going to be more Street Fighter. That's fun. I've never been a big Street Fighter guy.
The only fighting game I've really been interested in was Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur was good. I liked Mortal Kombat a bit, but I've never been good at those games, so I don't think it makes me excited. In May, we're going to get Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
And including Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, apparently it was
cool.
He voiced Batman one last time, and that was in that game, so that'll probably be the last thing that we'll have Kevin Conroy's Batman in.
And this is different than Gotham Knights.
Yes.
In that it was actually made by Rocksteady. The other one was not.
Yeah, the other one was made by the one that did Arkham Origins,
which wasn't that great either.
Which wasn't amazing. It was fine. It was okay, but it was just taking stuff there. We got a Super Mario Brothers movie clip. We won't talk about that. We're kind of, Tekken 8 is coming out.
Again, fighters,
Yeah.
But Cool.
Um,
Those- I feel like of like the big ones, Tekken is like the least liked.
I
feel
think,
like.
yeah. I mean, it's not. I don't know
I
because
could be wrong.
people do like Tekken. There's a very like. I feel like every fighting game, there's always like it has its need. Like there is a group for it. Like there's
Yeah, or
Soul
like King
Calibur.
of Fighters. Like there's a group
Right.
that loves King of Fighters.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um, yeah.
Okay, moving on. Horizon Forbidden West. We're getting a Burning Shores DLC for exclusively for PS5, and it's coming in April.
Cool. Have you played Forbidden West?
No, but I also never finished
Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. So, I don't know. I kind of got like, I kind of got like over. It wasn't my favorite. I think at the time I was kind of overplaying overworld games, you know?
Like Ubisoft style games.
Yeah, where it's just like, yeah, run around, do stuff. Here's your main
Climb the
objective.
tower.
Climb all these towers. There's a Crash Team Rumble is a 4v4 multiplayer game. It's coming out. Let's see. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
Did you ever play the first one?
No.
It was pretty good.
It's pretty good? Okay.
Yeah, and it had like good weight to it. Like they like the Space Marines were fast, but also like stompy.
Okay.
Like, so like they felt pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I mean, people I think have been wanting this for a while. The
I think so, too.
multiplayer actually in this was really good. The first one.
Okay. So we'll see.
like-
Well, we'll have to see what happens. I know multiplayer is kind of a like it's a tricky now, you know?
Yeah, they did a really good job with it. At least back then.
Mhm.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
I think-
but yeah, I mean, it
yeah.
looks good. It
I do enjoy
kept fun.
I do enjoy a Space Marine, you know?
Yeah.
I enjoy them. I enjoy having them around. I enjoy them murdering heretics. So, you know.
Yeah, this one looks like it's against the Tyranids, which are basically alien type guys. Kind of like, I mean, the Zerg are very similar to them. So those kind of aliens.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So-
Very cool. Next, Celeste creators Earthblade by the people who created Celeste. Extremely okay games is what they're saying. Yeah, it's another explore action game with kind of their signature art style that's like cute, but also
Yeah.
very like maneuverable. We got a Bayonetta Origins game that's announced. Hellboy is getting a video game that's coming out.
That's cool. Hopefully it doesn't suck.
We'll see. It looks very stylized, so it could. Or it could be similar to... Did you ever play the John Wick Hex game that came out?
No.
It was okay. It was like, all right, this is interesting.
Is the Bayonetta game... The Bayonetta game's more of like a... It's like more zoomed out. It's like a different...
Yeah.
like different art style, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's almost like an isometric sort of game.
Yeah. Actually, I really like the art style of the Hellboy game.
I mean, it's
very much like the comics.
Yeah, it mimics the comics a lot. So we'll have to see what that is. They announced Crime Boss Rockay City by 505 Games. So
it has a crazy cast.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Michael Madsen, Chuck Norris, Danny Glover, Kim Basinger, Danny Trejo, and Vanilla Ice.
So, and it's a stealth action game, and you want to be the leader of criminal underworld in 90s Florida. Which, I mean, if it's 90s Florida, that's
like Vice City.
Yeah, that's kind of the voice cast you would want if it's Florida in the 90s. So,
oh yeah, for sure,
that's perfect.
That could be cool. Maybe.
And let's see what we got. The Lords of the Fallen. It's another Souls-like game that's coming out.
Lords of the Fallen, like the first Lords of the Fallen in 2016, So this company made a game called Lords of the Fallen, not this one. The new one's called The Lords of the Fallen.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. I was going to say it sounded familiar, and I was like, why is
Yeah,
this?
so it was like the first Souls-like that I recall, like that wasn't Dark Souls, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
Like the first imitation.
I feel like I don't remember anything about this game.
Yeah.
So
I think it's also the same company that does The Surge.
okay, I like the Surge a little bit.
Yeah, so they have some experience and they've done some like The Surge and Surge 2 were pretty good.
Okay.
Lords of the Fallen, the first one wasn't great. So hopefully they're taking what they've learned and brought it back.
Or it'll be just okay again, and we'll
Yep.
see what happens.
Last of Us Part 1
In
coming
March.
to PC.
Yep.
Cool.
Returnal coming to PC. All those PlayStation exclusives coming to PC.
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to finally be finished.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And there were a lot of other like little tiny game trailers that I'm not going to really bring up, but look it up. There were a lot of things that came up at the Game Awards. But yeah, and then there's let's see.
Another Remnant game.
Another Remnant, Baldur's Gate 3 release window of August 2023. You can play
There's a Dead Cells crossover with Castlevania and a new DLC.
I did see that. That's gonna be interesting. I do love Dead Cells, so that's gonna be
Dead Cells was good.
The Square Enix has a new RPG called Forspoken that you can play. There's a demo out now. There's going to be a Transformers online action game, Transformers Reactive, VR Ghostbusters game was announced.
I feel like
there's just so many things that were announced here. Like it's almost like there's too much. There's too much for us to say here. I
feel like we're like getting past the point of VR being like a lot of stuff coming out for VR.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh, there's going to be a new Valiant Hearts. There's a Valiant Hearts coming home. Is going to be on mobile devices soon.
Well, do instead of keeping going on some of these smaller games, do we want to talk about the awards?
Yeah, we could do that because there's a lot of stuff that's happening here. First off, there was apparently somebody who crashed like this stage. Did you hear about this?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, there was like
during the Elden Ring ceremony or something like that.
During Elden Ring, because Elden Ring won Game of the Awards Game of the Year, which that was the first thing, as it should have. He said, "Hey, my turn. Real quick, I want to thank everybody and say I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody." And then he was arrested. So, who knows? Who knows, Chris?
Just like I don't even know what that means.
No one really does. But he snuck on stage when all the Elden Ring team was going up, and then just somehow they really gotta have a little bit better security and stuff with that. And also, like, whenever they have people presenting awards, I feel like they need to not have popular streamers give awards out. I've seen so many clips of just like really awkward, I hate using this word, but there's no other way to describe it, like cringeworthy presenting done by like famous streamers. And it's just like, just let the actors do it. There's so many voice actors who could just do this stuff. Don't let streamers get on there, because they're all, no offense, because we are them, but it's not what we should be doing.
Yeah.
But let's go to so of course Elden Ring was the winner of Game of the Year. That was up against Plague Tale Requiem, which I haven't finished yet. Again, haven't finished. God of War Ragnarok, really good. Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, that's a surprise, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Do you think Stray should have been on there?
I haven't played it, but I mean, people were obsessed with it.
I thought it was good. I don't know if it's Game of the Year worthy, but
Yeah.
then we had Best Game Direction between Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray. Elden Ring was the winner here.
I think I agree with that. It iterated on the Souls like genre,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and I thought really created something pretty cool.
Yeah. Very cool. Best Narrative. Again, Plague Tale, Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and the winner was God of War Ragnarok, which, very much so. Yes, it's the
Immortality's on Game Pass, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yes, it
Maybe
is.
I'll have to look it up. I'll have to try playing it.
It says
Elden.
it says you play this.
What?
It's the one about the movie star with the found footage.
Oh, that game. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I started to play it and then I kind of got away from it just because it was like a lot about you had to sit there and not be active. Instead, you had to watch stuff. And I was
Yeah.
kind of like, eh.
I do like his games, like Her Story and Telling Lies.
Those games are fun. I mean, it is very similar to those. So if you enjoy that, you'll like Immortality. Elden Ring won Best Art Direction against Surprise, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Scorn. Scorn, great art, very unsettling.
Yep, hated it. I played it for a while and I was like,
Can't. Too much body horror.
I'm good.
There's too much body horror.
Okay.
By the way, Wayne said there's definitely a difference in showbiz skills for awards that don't translate to a lot of the industry. Yes,
For sure.
for sure. Then we had Best Score in Music, and that was won by Bear McCreary for God of War Ragnarok. This stuck in my head all the time. Just the God of War theme, the ho,
Yeah.
and he also did a song with Hosier. Hosier?
Are you saying Jose weirdly?
No, it's Hozier. Hosier? No.
don't know who
Well,
that is.
it's called Blood on the Snow or Blood Upon the Snow. And I think
That makes sense.
and it plays over the credits, but it was by him and Bear McCreary, and it's really good. It's pretty gets you amped.
Very cool.
God of War Ragnarok also won Best Audio Design, and in God of War, Christopher Judge, our boy Teal'c, won
The voice of Kratos.
the voice of Kratos won for Best Performance, and Wayne says the "Take Me to Church" guy, Chris. Take me to
yes.
church. Man, I love Christopher Judge. He just does such a good. There's a clip that I saw the other day that reminded me how great he is in these games. In God of War 2018, there's a scene where he picks up his blades, because he uses an axe for like the first half of the game, and then he picks up his
Classic blades.
the two blades again, and in like a door frame you see Athena, like the silhouette of Athena there, and she's just saying there, and she says, you will always be a monster, and he's just there and he just goes, I know, and like you can see like he's doing the mocap for that, and like it's so good.
I remember that. That was sick.
It's just so good. Will you, Christopher Judge? You fucking rule, man. Just want to tell you that. I want to give you the highest of fives. Next, Games for Impact, thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. In this one, we had a Memoir Blue, Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist.
Did you play any of these?
Have you
heard of any of
Sleeper
these?
I played a little bit of. As Dusk Falls was the winner. And A Memoir Blue is supposed to be really good. I've seen that, and I want to play it. So
I don't know what any of these are about.
well, they're thought-provoking games with a pro-social commentary or meaning. These are like but these are the games we should be playing. Like these are they're not usually very long. They're usually really good stories, and they have a lot of meaning to them. So I think we should spend some time playing these games. So remember this list. Put that list in your list of games.
In your
to
list
play.
spot.
Yeah. Best ongoing game, Final Fantasy XIV Online, obviously. I mean, that game has been exploding this last year.
Yeah, and what's really crazy, so it was Final Fantasy XIV, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. WoW is nowhere to be seen. Any Blizzard game is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is crazy, because they dominated that
for
the
years.
Ongoing game space for decades.
For years, but they've done it to them. They're shooting themselves in the foot. You know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're bad business practices, bad people practices. It's just not. They're not doing the right things.
It's just bad.
It's just bad. Everybody go play Final Fantasy XIV. I paused my subscription to that for right now, but you should all do it. Best indie game, Stray was the winner for that. It was between Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Shifu, and Tunic. Tunic was really fun.
Tunic, I remember I met that guy, the developer.
That's right. Whenever
he's been at PAX almost every year at PAX East.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went, I think it was 2017. I saw the early build of Tunic, and played it a little bit. It's really cool. It's come such a long way.
It has, and it's cool because it doesn't tell you anything. It's like the whole game is basically figure it out. You know, there's lots of references to stuff.
And it's got gibberish speak.
Yeah, so you don't know what anyone's saying or what's written on anything, but you can kind of work it out. It's like a big puzzle, but it's also an action game. So
yeah, and it's very Legend of Zelda influenced in a lot of the way it looks, but the gameplay is not exactly that.
It's Zelda-esque, but really not. Sort of, but as much as a top or isometric,
more like a Hyper Light Drifter-ish fighting, I think.
Kind of, still slashy, still mostly slashy. Excuse me. Cult of the
Lamb is great.
Is good. Shifu is really good too.
Have you played it?
I played a little bit of it. It's hard. It's hard. You really gotta learn how to do. It's all about combos and defense.
It's the same company that made the game that Ian made us buy.
Oh boy! I think
It starts with an A.
And
Absolver.
I was gonna go Anacrusis. No, that's not it.
No.
But yeah, it's very much about learning combos and trying to figure out ways past defenses, and patience is important.
And actually, it's kind of similar to a fighting game in that you have to learn the combos, but also I think it does. I like learning those combos in a slower paced action RPG type of way.
Yeah.
Than having to learn them while you're doing a fighting.
While you're doing a fighting scene. It is kind of cool that it is kind of like playing a martial arts movie though. I enjoy that. There's a game that came out. I forget what it's called, but you basically play. It's like a Seven Samurai-esque black and white samurai film, but it's a game, and I forget what it's called. But Stray won.
Speaking of that,
game. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I just watched Hero again. And it's so good.
It's a great movie.
I love Hero.
Great music.
But this is not a movie podcast.
Not a movie podcast. Best debut indie game. Again, Stray was the winner between Neon White, Norco, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors. People keep talking about Vampire Survivors. I still don't understand what it's about. I'll have to look at that. Best mobile game between Apex Legends Mobile, which is a cop-out, because it's like this is just Apex Legends in mobile.
That's kind of the same thing with Genshin Impact.
Yeah, Genshin Impact, Diablo Immortal, and Tower of Fantasy. Marvel Snap won. Marvel Snap came out a month or two ago, and that game is fun as heck. It's like
I haven't played it yet.
It's like a really simplified card battler, like a card collection game, but it's great. Best community support went to Final Fantasy XIV Online.
So, what's the definition of that?
Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches.
Okay.
Wayne says some of the best Asian martial artist actors were in Hero, and so many of them weren't well known in the States at that point. That is correct.
Yeah, Donnie Yen.
Yep.
He's in that. That's the first thing I
remember seeing him in. He was also in Ip Man.
Ones,
which I freaking love those.
Right.
Best VR game went to Moss Book 2. I don't know. I haven't played much VR stuff. Innovation and accessibility went to God of War Ragnarok. Seriously, the God of War, there's like a whole giant menu of just accessibility functions for God of War Ragnarok.
That's pretty cool.
You
were mentioning that last week, I think.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. I'm just like, this is amazing. You could tell that some people, the people who worked on it were like, no, we have to make sure if people want to play the game, they can play the game. You know. Mm-hmm. Best action game went to Bayonetta 3. Okay. Best action adventure game went to God of War Ragnarok. Best RPG went to Elden Ring.
None of those are surprising.
Yep. Best fighting game, Multiverses won that one.
That's the Warner Brothers one?
Yes, that is.
That's cool. Good for them.
Best family game went to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That's some Nintendo bullshit I have not really paid attention to.
Yep.
Best sports racing game, Gran Turismo 7.
Sure.
Best sim /
because there's no Forza game.
Yeah, there's no Forza game this year. Best sim / strategy game went to Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
So
that seems like a cop out. That seems like we don't want to give it to a 4X game, so we're gonna give it to friggin' Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah, I mean, so the problem with some of the other ones on this were Dune Spice Wars, which I haven't seen anything about, but I don't know. That kind of looks cool. It's a 4X game.
Yeah.
Total War Warhammer 3 had a really rough launch. It's in a much better spot now. 2 Point Campus, which is 2 Point Hospital, but I assume
college
a school.
Campus, yeah.
And Victoria 3, which I have been playing, which again also had a slightly rough launch, as Paradox games tend to have.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just I'm sure Mario and Rabbids was extremely polished.
I'm sure it was fine. Yeah.
But it's a very high ceiling, high floor game. It's not going to go.
Yeah,
it's there. Whereas some of these other games are going to just over time be so much better than.
Yeah. Well, Splatoon 3 won best multiplayer game.
That's awesome.
Which is cool, but it's also I hear so many people talk about Splatoon 3. I'm like, should I play Splatoon?
I've never played.
I really don't want to. But should I?
I've never played Splatoon in my life. I've heard it's awesome.
The stuff I don't care about. Content Creator of the Year went to Ludwig. I don't know who that is. Best Esports Athlete, Jacob Ye Whitaker from Cloud9 and Valorant, and he plays Valorant. Best Esports Coach went to Matthias Buzka Tarasconi from Team Loud, also plays Valorant. Best esports event. How do you give an event? That's okay. 2022 League of Legends World Championship.
Whatever.
Okay. Best esports game, Valorant. Okay.
Sure.
Best esports team, Loud, playing Valorant.
Okay.
This is an interesting topic.
Maybe we're out of touch.
Either we're out of touch or the the esports is so like I don't play Valorant or watch Valorant or any of that stuff. So I feel like I'm being left out in the cold here.
Yeah.
But also whenever you have like a best esports team, there are competitions to do that. I don't think you need an awards show to be like
That's a good point.
why there's competitions. Just use the competitions to do it. Most anticipated game of 2022 is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Sure. I am probably more excited for Hogwarts Legacy or Starfield.
I don't know. I think I've stopped becoming excited about the future. You know?
Yeah,
I think
me
I'm just
too.
old. I think it's just because I'm getting old.
I mean,
I'm excited for
like-
The Legend of Zelda.
yeah, I am. Too.
I'm
Like,
excited for
I don't
all
know.
those things.
like- Breath of the Wild still didn't do it for me like Ocarina of Time did.
Well, but that's different. That's nostalgia, though, you know?
But also, or even like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess.
The Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Man, I wish I could play Wind Waker again. I don't have a device that's capable of playing it right now, I don't think.
No. Sorry, buddy.
And then best adaptation went to Arcane League of Legends, which, yeah.
I mean, Edge Runners was real good too.
Edge Runners was really good, but did you watch Arcane?
Yeah, it was also real good.
It was real, like movingly good. Like I was, tearing up
You
at
were
some
moved?
parts. I was moved.
You laughed, you cried.
It moved me, Bob. Yeah, and then there was the Cuphead show. So yeah, and then Arcane won that. So that's it. That's all the winners of stuff. Video Game Awards happens. We're gonna have to.
I would say that we were also winners this year,
I think we were. We got a lot of announcements this year, so I think
and a lot of good games this year.
Yeah. So I think 2022 was kind of after a few years of just not great, not amazing.
And it took a while for games to come out after the delay of 2020.
Yeah. So, and like, we're starting. Oh God, I'm so sorry. And we're starting to see people like now paying attention to us whenever we say we want games to come out finished and not, on time. We want them to come out finished, even if it's later. Like,
Yeah.
and they're starting to listen to us when we say that. So
Yeah.
yeah. Great. So that's it. I do want to say thank you to IGN reporters Logan Plant and Adam Bankhurst, who I used some of their lists to go through stuff because I didn't feel like typing out everything. So I'm glad there are reporters like them to write things down for me. Yeah. So that's it. Chris, do you have any final thoughts about the Video Game Awards in 2022?
No, I'm looking forward to talking about this again next year in 2023.
Yeah, well, different. Hopefully, it's not exactly the same. That'd be wild. That's some freaking time loop shit right there, man. But yeah. So that was that. I thought it was great. I thought it was good. And I can't wait to see what 2023 has in store for us. Soon we'll be able to get to do our Game of the Years once we get to the new year of 2023. Speaking of which, so next week is Christmas, and then the week after that is New Year's. So there will be probably nothing for those 2 weeks. So do not be surprised whenever you don't see things happening in the Game Brew for a little bit. But you can always go to the Discord at bit.ly/discobrew to chat with us, or if you have any questions or you have anything you want to share, please make sure you do that there. I'm more than happy to impart any knowledge. Will is playing Counter-Strike Go again, so we'll have
and
to
he was
see.
talking about going to DreamHack apparently.
To what?
DreamHack?
What's that?
It's a massive LAN party basically
Ooh.
in Texas.
In Tejas.
Yeah.
Tejas. deep in the heart of Tejas. We had some streamy fun times on Thursday with the Mongoose Omelet crew. So you can check that out if you go to twitch.tv/tubecrazed. You can try and listen to us mess around with stuff. But yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
Send positive vibes out for Allison. Eventually she'll be back here with us. Eventually.
One day.
But until then, you're stuck with us. So
sorry.
Bingo bango hot ta. Suck it. But we're gonna and also there's going to be a vote up for the next Game View movie that we're gonna do. It is between Dead or Alive, DOA, Dead or Alive, and the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s. So
two very bad movies.
Two very bad movies in different ways. They are bad. So go ahead and vote on that whenever I eventually post the poll, which will be up probably tomorrow, if I remember. And yeah, so with that, we're going to end the podcast portion of our podcast streaming time by saying what we say every time we end the podcast, which is good night, everybody.